a lurker or being more involved in leading execute. So he can be kind of all over the place with performances, but yeah, certainly a skilled player. Stanislaw, you mentioned him. I think he's a very smart player. He's kind of Dap's second mind to kind of help them read rounds and come up with things, but he also is a guy whose role fluctuates too. I mean, sometimes he's a peripheral player. Sometimes he's involved in attacks. So I think he and Naf are the ones that move around the most as far as what they're doing, whereas Shazam, you know he's going to be opping. Daps, you know he's going to be more of a supportive role, and he's obviously leading the team, and then Rush, of course, will be their primary entry fragger, and I think Rush is actually, maybe the numbers don't support this, but just from an eye test watching him play, I feel he's kind of one of the top entry fraggers from a North American team. I know Nitro and Elige, those are two powerful guys over on Liquid. Nitro would probably be the best. But I think Rush definitely kind of sits up there. I think he is, you know, better than Freakazoid, for example, at putting up different points.
Well, Shroud getting pressured on the site, but staying alive as Optic Gaming on this pistol round. Come away with, I think it was actually Stan. They got the kill out middle on Shroud, but it all falls apart as they try to take it over to B. And I gotta say two things here. I'm liking the tie-dye Cloud9 logos, and I'm liking the Freakazoid logo even more for Freakazoid.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't realize the pistol round went live. I would have shut up way earlier.
I figured as much.
My apologies. But
two
anyway,
monitors dust.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. I am so crazily poor. Anyway, we are going to see Cloud9 winning that pistol round. Now we're going to see them get actually a little bit aggressive here over towards the A side, or at least stack heavily to that area, as Optic are looking to go for a heavy A hit, but it's going to be busted up by Freakazoid and Stewie2K on that aggressive maneuver. Very nicely done. They're going to clean it up with really no trouble. Barely even took damage on most of their players. So well done by Cloud9 to take the second round.
I think some of the damage they took was a friendly nade to the back as they were running out of spawn. That's about all the damage they really took there on Cloud9. So an easy 2-0 for them, and Optic Gaming unable to even get the bomb down. So it's going to delay that first rifle round. It's another chance for Cloud9 to continue to find kills with all these submachine guns, get the $600 frags, have a very strong, solid round 4. Optic Gaming might just play it a little slow, look for some information, see the setups, but actually flying out middle. Naf does find one kill for himself. Skadoodle backs off.
Yeah, but since then, Cloud9 has responded pretty well. They're going to be able to grab a couple of kills there onto Freakazoid and Skadoodle, so they do take the main advantage back with a 4-on-3. Naf has this collected MP9 here. He's going to be sitting inside the vents, as they do have control of middle, but Shroud's already pressed through B to kind of cut them off. So it's going to be very difficult to work out of this position now that they have to worry about a flank unless they can actually pick Shroud up.
Well, Free can move out. Will he check his left? Oh, he does. And Shroud will take down Stan, who was under the drop. They're on the CT middle, and Naf here in the checker are going to be taken out. Brutal shot to the side of the head. Freakazoid completing that 3K, $1,800 richer, and now into the first rifle round. How confident will Cloud9 be? How many SMGs will they keep around? Like a couple at this point.
Looks like they're going to keep 2, which they could use Freakazoid to push A main again with his. Because we are going to have Optic, you know, getting an op on Shazam right off the bat, which is good. That's the weapon he'll have the higher impact, and if they want a good start, then they'll do that. Stanislaw not going to be lurking B this round. This leads me to believe they're definitely committing to an A hit right off the bat. Normally he'd be over there on a default, but you already see him actually inside A main, so they seem pretty committed with Naf in the door per usual to just try to go ahead and roll out on this A bomb side. And you can see Cloud9, they're playing a retake setup on us too. He's way back at truck. Freakazoid's more committed to mid from highway, so they're going to give this up and play retake.
Well, nice spray down there for Stewie. Gonna find 2 from truck and nothing. They counter boosted him in middle. He's already come up behind them on the flank in A main, and that's gonna bring down Shazam. And once again, Nafly, the last man up, and so far, very dominant CT start for Cloud9. Surviving through that rifle round, looking pretty flawless.
And that's a good read from Cloud9 because Optic are very prone to those heavy types of A hits. I know they're usually a slower, more default team, but when they are looking to do a heavy execute, A is usually their primary choice. And so Cloud9 seemed to kind of have a good idea about that. You saw them just back off and play retake. I think the key thing there, though, is that Stewie2K was able to get 2 kills from truck with the M4 before any real smoke went out to block vision from there. So I think maybe Optic kind of dropped the ball there by not having a smoke to get him safely into the site, because they pretty much got blown apart before the retake even started, right? And now they're on a save round, and Cloud9 getting aggressive, already finding a frag there on Stanislaw.
Nothing gonna go forward and farm and frag. One more onto Shazam, flash over, spots Rush, jumping while he peeks, but will still fall to the Tech-9 of Rush. Well, at least they were able to do one small thing with an aggressive play out into B main. making life really, really tough for Optic. Now if he'll try to open the door and hoping that someone will peek him, go for a spam, and he will get the peek. A couple shots, and a Stewie 2K will come running at you. He'll regret that decision. He's given a rifle and a flash now over to Naf, who will still stay with the Deagle, nearly finding the head of Freakazoid there.
Yeah, he definitely felt the heat of that one, Graze 5, but he was able to escape it. But still, Naf getting them later on in the round. Doesn't have the bomb, though. It's way down at middle, even though they have control of the A-bomb site. So a bit unfortunate. They can't really do much, even though they have this good positioning in the site. But it is the 2v2, and if Cloud9 get a little bit antsy, maybe they can get some duels, but Naf has been taken care of, so it looks like Cloud9 should go ahead and clean this up. Rush will try to come around middle to grab this bomb. He's still got technically time to do it, but he's got to worry about Skadoodle, who is going to battle him.
Oh man, Rush still with a chance. But Skadoodle pulls out the Tech 9, and it was Nothing who did that damage early in the round over to Rush, so he's in there with the assist, and so much money right now at Cloud9. They win the first rifle round without even completely upgrading to all rifles. Now they will as they go into the second one, but it will also be a bit stronger for Optic Gaming. They've got the op out onto Shazam, who's 005 right now, close to being a secret agent, but hopefully
that's like the
not.
lesser agent of the of the force. But also a double op now for Cloud9, which they do like to do this on this map. They like to get Stewie 2K anchoring the A-bomb site with his op while they kind of move Skadoodle around. He will actually be B this time. So that's going to throw Optic maybe for a loop, maybe not expecting a double op so early on in the game, though they probably know Cloud9's money is really good, so I'm sure they're aware it could be a possibility. We'll see Optic opening up much slower this time. This is their true default here. Zan's all lurking outside B. This is one of the maps where he's more of a peripheral guy rather than an entry. Naf at the door, per expected. And it looks like we are going to see them just kind of slowly work the map, looking to see if they get any opportunities. Stewie is a little bit aggressive with this op in A main, but no one's gotten into an angle yet to really be revealed, so all is kind of quiet for the time being.
And Skadoodle just watching lower. Freakazoid playing passive here, waiting for an op shot, and then he'll throw a supporting flash or smoke, re-smoking that. But Shazam in this time has gone up onto the boost unnoticed, and he's been able to set his sights over on that white box. So it's a good thing Freakazoid did not peek.
Yeah, Skadoodle also didn't want to commit to a battle there either. He was just holding kind of a passive angle to watch the events cross. He didn't want to take on Shazam directly, as Shazam gets boosted a lot on this map. So we are going to see Optic finally gathering up over towards A again. And Stewie, he has a chance to blow this thing up before they start rolling out, but he also could get blasted, and that could just kind of leave A little bit exposed. But he is going to get the kill. He's got two supporting players. Oh my goodness, catching Naf in the door as well. He got way more than he should have there.
That was a nice turnaround. Unfortunately, the nade was banked off the wall. I think it was by Daps. Yeah, he's the one that found that kill. Daps will work himself out over to the forklift. Freakazoid still in sight and controlling it, and Rush unable to get out of the door. Gets shot down through it, actually, in the face. Daps coming away with one more. Stan is still up somewhere. Where is Stan? Stan is back in A main as sniper support. Throws a fadeaway nade just to survive. Doesn't want to die after time. Optic Gaming coming up completely empty once more. It's 6-0 in favor of Cloud9.
They took too long, was kind of the biggest thing there. And it's one of those things where if you're going to play that slower style, you're going to wait until the last, 20 or 30 seconds to execute. If one little thing goes wrong, it just ruins the round for you. And that one little thing that went wrong was Stewie 2K getting that second frag on the door player. Naf needed to get that trade. If they could have done that, you have a 4-on-4, maybe you can actually work the bomb into a plant. But with them going a man down like that, they just couldn't recover. They still, with maximum loss bonus, are able to get a full purchase here, but their utility is a little bit lighter than they'd probably like. They're going to open up default once again. But, I mean, they're going to be scratching their heads here soon if they can't find a round here. I think a tactical timeout could be on its way if they don't find it here.
Yeah, that would definitely be a thing worth using right now. Try to get your head back into this game. Because, honestly, you got to just keep focused. That you don't even need to do that much work on your T-side as Optic Gaming, because Cloud9's T-side isn't going to be that effective either. So as long as they get like 4 or 5 rounds, they can hang in this.
I think Optic's really surprised that Cloud9 are playing so passive, right? Like, I mean, I guess Stewie had kind of an aggressive angle on A-main with the op in the previous round.
And that one round
but,
where he just ran into Squeaky.
Yeah, but otherwise they've been really passive mid, for example. They haven't put any pressure really there in mid garage or anything like that. And I think maybe Optic was kind of expecting some of that pressure because Cloud9 is known for that. But it hasn't come their way, so they haven't been gifted any frags. So Cloud9, you got to give them props for not making any mistakes. They're really not giving Optic anything to work with.
That's Stan and Shazam double peeking there up highway. Freakazoid on the fallback, actually, from being pushed in a main. And needing to watch everything. 3 players on Highway. Now he'll start to look over. Must have hurt the feet. Does come away with 1 and a lot of damage. It's actually Stewie that gets the frag. They got put up in the blender, but the majority of them survived. And the bomb's going down now on default. Nap is going to jump, and Stewie unable to find that kill. How unfortunate. Nothing is there, though, to trade it out. So the retake is on 3-on-3. 2 players up at Truck. That shrouded nothing. And you've got Skadoodle coming up the highway. A high flash out from Shazam and a Molotov in there. 2 quad. That's going to bring down Rush. Sends... Actually, Shazam running out as well. Dap's even dying before that. So perfectly done. Great use of utility, and the retake is a success.
I mean, a good idea by Optic, realizing that mid was being given to them, so that they decided, hey, we'll take it. They moved their way up highway. They look like they're going to have a pretty successful execute on the A site. They do get a post-plant 3v3, so it was, somewhat working into their favor, but then Cloud9 with the retake. And, I mean, everyone on Cloud9's doing well. I mean, it's early, but if you look at the scoreboard, the frag distribution's so close. You got 3 guys with 6 frags. Our top fragger's only got 9, so the spread is really, really tight over there. Meanwhile, you look over at Optic, you got a couple of guys over there really struggling. In fact, no one's really producing that much. So they definitely need to step it on up here soon if they don't want to let this game kind of run away from it. Because, again, this is the map that both teams are very comfortable on. This is the hotly contested map. The other ones... in the pool are ones that a team is probably favored in. So this is a big game to win. Cloud9 doing their due diligence to take it. Look at that, getting aggressive at A main this time around. Freakazoid collecting 2 kills. Really well done.
Yeah, his first shot was pretty much just flawless. You can only see the head of the person over the box, hits it, and then does eventually control that spray to find his second kill. Stewie's also come away with 1, so another rifle round coming up completely empty-handed here for Optic Gaming, and they've still not gone in for that pause yet.
And this is nothing like their last Cash game. And again, they just played Cash against each other maybe a few days ago over in the ESL Pro League where Optic won a close one. And it just doesn't look anything like that. Like Optic are just getting completely torn apart right now. This is not like them.
Even now, Cloud9 going to remain passive. Not going to give Optic Gaming an inch to get back into this.
Nope.
There's nothing to grab onto. Stan going to rotate out. Probably eventually run somewhere and die. I mean, what's the money? Do you want to survive? And yeah, you'll take $9,600 in, but you'll be off, out of phase with your team's money. Certainly don't want to die after time, so they're going to have to commit to something. Smoke and a flash out over to A. Molotov in the works as well. Skadoodle will hit 1 shot. Stewie's gone down, and Skadoodle, he does what he needs to. Finds both of those kills and secures the round.
Big half right now coming out of Cloud9. Optic, I feel like you got to take a time out here soon and talk this one out. Things are not panning out. They are going to take a force buy this round, or a slight force, I would say. I mean, they still have max loss coming in, so they'll still definitely have a full buy next round, even though they've invested into a few Tech 9s and a Deagle, as well as armor and a couple of flashes. Maybe just going to try to parade out of the door or something like that, just try to see if they can't get a bomb plant.
So back onto the Tech 9 armor. I mean, the way the rifle rounds have been going, it almost seems like Optic will probably end up breaking through with the round on a round like this. Play a little bit looser, some, nothing to lose mentality because you just have Tech 9 and armor. See if Naf can't find another 1 dig over out at middle. Definitely showing his hand now. Skadoodle's got to be hearing these shots, and that flash was not effective. It blinded Shazam a whole lot, and Skadoodle with a nice little flick over. Crowd, meanwhile, going to bring Stan down, who was trying to get into the vents.
Depends on your definition of effective, Joey. Did it blind someone? Yes.
Yes, that's true.
Was it his own team? Yes.
And one might say that team flashes are the most effective.
Oh, man. This game is definitely not going well. It was going to be a flawless victory, but Rush does pick up Shroud. But it's only a small little victory as nothing quickly takes him out, and Cloud9 have a monstrous lead at 9-0. Finally, there is money for Optic again. They will get the yacht back on Shazam, but he hasn't done much with it. He's 1-9 right now. To be fair, though, you can't really pin the blame all on him. No one's really stepped up for Optic, I feel like, at this point. But they're going to have the full utility now. They're going to have full head armor. They're going to have everything they would want to run whatever they think is what their best play is. Like, what's the best play for the situation? And this time, they're going to go heavy B, which they haven't done yet. So they're going to try something different. They're going to flip the page in the book and see what's there. And it's a heavier B formation. Shroud plays over here as an anchor player. He hasn't really been tested yet, so this will be his.
What you didn't see.
Yeah, that's true. So this will be his chance to either shine for Cloud9 or fold and Optic maybe take one finally.
He actually didn't even do anything on the pistol. He just showed himself and stayed alive, and the rotations came in. He's going to be mollied a little bit, taking some damage. He will extinguish it, and then taking a shot onto Daps. Rush moving up. He's onto the site. Shroud will go down, but now Skadoodle and Nothing, who's dropped out of the vents already. He was very quick on that flank. Skadoodle up top has found 2, and it looks like it will not be a third. Naf giving him a little crouch peek, finding his second, now leaving himself in a 1 versus 2. We'll use some utility just so he doesn't have to watch the vents. He can fight that player on site. Oh, that nade should do it. Yes, it does. Takes down Freakazoid now 1 versus 1 against Young Stu. And Naf will win.
Ooh. There
Okay.
you go. Naf coming up with a big play. I think that was a 1v3 with a quad kill in total. That's going to make him, I guess, even at 9-9. So he's been the one that's shown us some life this game so far, and he finally uses it to collect a round, but Optics still have a long way to go. But I would say if they can get up to 5 or 6 rounds, like win out or you know, come just short of it, they still would be in okay shape actually going into the second half, knowing that Cloud9's T-sides can sometimes be troubled. But they still have a long way to go. They're going to go for a really quick A hit. There's 3 players here.
All right, Stewie, time for redemption, because that was not a good showing for you in that 1 versus 1. Had all the advantages, really.
Wow.
Maybe you won't even be tested, because Skadoodle's like, I got you. Freakazoid as well. Keeping Stewie 2K innocent over there on the A site.
Optic having certainly a tough time here as they are in a 2-on-4. Naf is able to get out highway, but Skadoodle at quad. He has a couple of players in the site to focus on main, so he's able to direct his attention through the high when he's able to find the kill. So looks like Optic's money bonus going to be reset, which is devastating because if you look, they have pretty much no money. Like 2 players, in fact, are at $0. So next round, they're really not going to have anything to work with, and so that means Cloud9 a very good chance to go ahead and get an 11-1 lead. This is not looking good.
I don't know who it was, but I think Twitch chat said it best. Someone wrote, and reset.
Yep.
That's pretty much it, right? Optic Gaming, they found 1 round. It was all in the back of Nafly doing some crazy plays, but it wasn't a convincing looking round, right? It was just an individual effort there at the end, some mistakes from Cloud9, a missed shot from Stewie that he certainly should have hit. That's not sustainable in finding your rounds. Now you're reset. You're straight up broke. It'll take at least 2 or 3 rounds before you get out to a bonus where you could then have some rifles off of a loss, but...
And it might be too soon to say this, but I was wondering what Optic would show up to this tournament because obviously they had some disappointing results in the LCQ for the major qualifier, as well as doing, you know, having that upset loss in the minor. But then they had that success, you know, they won that first SIBO qualifier bracket and they beat some good teams along the way to do it, including beating Liquid and Selfless in the finals. But now they show up to this tournament after they had just beat Cloud9 2-0 in ESL Pro League, and they're just getting destroyed right now. So it's like that the lesser Optic showed up so far today is, I guess, the point.
Yeah, there's been times where I'm like, yeah, Optic, they're sick. They're the next NA team. They're gonna do it. And then like another
Then you
match
have an
later,
event
I'm
like
like,
this,
what is happening? Who are these
yeah.
people?
I guess that's the story of NACS though right now, right? Sporadic spurts of success with some failure tucked in, but again, there's still hope for Optic. They could, I mean, Cloud9, they do struggle on T side still, right? So there's a chance they could bring it back, but it's not looking good right now, that's for sure.
Alright, Skadoodle at the truck, showing himself with that op. He's being pressured from highway, but Stewie's gonna clean that one up, and another one. He finds 3. Skadoodle also got 2. So Freakazoid has gone down, but the other 8 defenders will hold on. It's 11-1. And again, right, they got so hard reset, they had to go for basically a double eco on the T side for Optic Gaming.
Yeah. Oh, man. And now they're just on pistols again this round. I mean, their economy really got wrecked with getting their money reset a couple of rounds ago. And they're still suffering from that. Kind of at a loss. I really didn't expect it to be this one-sided. I thought this would be a hotly contested game. I thought this would be a grudge match, but it's been all but that.
Well, maybe Cloud9 just had a way bigger grudge.
Maybe, man.
Like
after Apollo Creed died in Rocky 4, Rocky Balboa showed up, beat that Russian guy. I forgot his name. Simple.
Can't help you,
maybe.
Unfortunately.
Maybe it was him.
Well, I like the way Freakazoid has been playing over at A. He's been very, very aggressive in and out of A main, and wow, nothing. Some slick shooting there. As the CT side and the way they're playing, I don't even think Nothing's had to say a word as an IGL on the CT side.
Probably not, no.
Just calling some movement from the terrace if he sees him. Oh yeah, Drago.
Yeah, Ivan Drago, is that right? I'm just guessing it's Ivan. That's the only first name I can come up with.
Wow, dude, racist.
No, that's just ignorance is what that is. Lack of knowledge. As Rush stuck in a 1v4 here. With no hopes, really, of getting it. So it's going to be 12-1 for Cloud9. This might be one of the most one-sided games we've seen so far this tournament. I mean, I guess the train game between CLG and Tipple Storm was
pretty hard.
But this might be worse
This is even,
if this carries on.
On a round-to-round basis, this has been more dominant.
Yeah. And again, it has been a tournament full of upsets already. So I think this is a pretty close matchup compared to some of the rest that were, in fact, certainly upsets.
Well, Rush making it somewhat costly, but Cloud9 don't care at this point. Stewie could put more than $1 sign in his name at this point. 5 digits on pretty much everyone. Actually, Freakazoid was somewhat poor. He's been going down a lot over at A.
Oh,
Who cares? He's
you know what I
everybody.
just noticed? I didn't know this. Irakanji's coaching Cloud9.
I did notice that.
Interesting. Not a bad person to call up for help. I know he used to be the in-game leader for Shroud's old team, which was Manajuma's.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't heard Irakanji's name in a long time.
Yeah, like 2014. Manajuma's. Been a long time.
Who's that nade?
He's like a full-time dentist, I think. I know he was in dentistry school. Little interesting tidbit.
Gonna fill the cavities that is Cloud9's T side.
Maybe. I mean, he's a smart guy. He was an in-game leader from 1.6. Used to call for several different teams. X3O, I think. Complexity.
I'm being called out for that pun by our cameraman.
What was the pun?
You didn't even get it!
I'm sorry, man.
Filling in the cavities?
Oh, yeah. That's not really a
Jeez.
pun.
I mean, whatever, dude. It's lame. It's a dad something.
It was a good one. I liked it.
4 on
So
4.
Yeah. 4 on
Best
4.
position that Optic Gaming has
That is
had
true.
in a long time.
Very accurate statement there, as they do have control of middle as well. They do have Stanislaw sitting inside B lobby here, so they're looking to split this B bomb site. They've only been here a couple of times. Pistol round where they lost, and then another round where Shroud and company were able to shut them down. So they're going to try their luck here again, as they do have control of checkers now too, so it's all up to this.
Nothing in the perfect spot. Stand going in. Focused over on the headshot ledge. Rush is at least there to get the trade, but then so is Shroud for Cloud9. It's Doodle coming over top. Daps throwing a flash. I'm not even sure what he was looking at. Did not fight back. Here's Shazam. He's found 2. Can he get 2 more? He's all alone. He gets digged to the face and then killed death from above. That's Shroud.
He came out of nowhere.
He RKO'd
with that
him.
up. Yeah, he really did, at least that first kill, but then after that, he lost his identity. I don't know.
He is
Creeped
Jason
in,
Bourne.
I think he creeped in like in the smoke and CT spawn, was able to get a surprise frag in there, but quickly responded to by the rest of Cloud9's members, and so it's 13-1 now for C9. They're just sweeping through this game thus far. Really been little contest out of Optic, and this round they're going to be on just some upgraded pistols. I'm surprised they never took a timeout this half. That really does surprise me.
Kind of bothers me a lot, actually.
Are you triggered?
I am triggered.
Okay.
Like,
Understandably so.
we added it, you know.
It's a thing.
Developers developed the functionality,
Indeed.
and you're just gonna ignore it, just like that. But this round
If
went well.
anything, just to get your minds right. Maybe it wasn't a tactic you could come up with, but just, you know, cooling your jets. I mean, I'm sure they're on tilt. Now it's about to be 14-1 from Cloud9. They try another heavy A execute. It's been, you know, Cloud9 at least staying 1 man ahead throughout the entire ordeal. Shazam in a 1v2, can't find it, and Cloud9, they win the half 14-1. So yeah, that, I believe, the most one-sided half we've seen so far of CS in this tournament. And of course it would happen right as I show up, right?
Why not?
Of course.
So the MO of Cloud9, from just looking at the first half, is who needs a T side if we can 14-1 or 15-0 teams
True, you don't need a
on
bunch
the
of
CT
ones.
side?
In fact, if you win pistol, you don't need really
You
one at
don't
all.
even need,
Yeah.
Just win this pistol round.
If you let
That'll
Irakanji
take
cook
you
yourself up a nice little pistol here, you know, you're good to go.
Yeah, right. And then of course you mentioned that we got that coach in to see what he can do, see if he can fix this T side that we probably won't get to
I mean,
see
it's important
any
that they
of
have
here
one
on,
because nothing's even openly admitted. I need help. I don't know what I'm doing. Basically, I mean, he didn't actually say I don't know what I'm doing, but he pretty much beat around the
Not-
bush.
not a
That's kind of
direct quote.
yeah, it's not a direct quote, but he certainly talked about how he was having a hard time transitioning, was stressing him out, and he
Yeah, that's
was
good, though.
definitely. I mean, yeah, admit that you need
The
help.
hell
It's the
admit
first
it.
step. Yeah, exactly. And so if Irukandji is in fact going to come in and help out, that's great because I know they've tried getting other people. I know it's a problem that's been there, but they trust me, they know about it. They've tried reaching out to people, just no one's accepted their offer, from what I understand. But Irukandji's certainly a nice guy to kind of dig up out of the chest, who hasn't been around for a while, who is a good CS mine. I mean, maybe he hasn't kept up with the current meta because he hasn't been around for a while, so there might be some things he doesn't know. But anything's better than nothing at this point. No pun intended there. That was not a Freudian
Was
slip.
intended.
No. But yeah, anything helps, right? And so, good on them. Hopefully this will work out for them. Because Cash is a map that they do, in fact, flip up sometimes on the Terra side in some of their recent tournaments.
Well, here's Rush with that CZ Emerald coming away with 1 and 2. And able to fall back at that long reload in from that CZ. Taking a few more battles here. He's got, where's the help? It's finally arrived over at the truck. He'll push forward, but he doesn't have any bullets. He needs to get out to a gun. Do even want to take those shots. He's going to need to go back in the site and try to find another pistol. Or just die. Shroud will take him out of the round, and the bomb has been planted. And actually, they've even been able to escape into post plants. Nothing's having some trouble eating nades and being pushed into the forklift and then into the ground. They've got Shroud also under wraps, unable to do anything, and don't even know where Skadoodle was, but Stan just erased him.
And it begins, Joey.
Nah, Cloud9 planted the bomb, though, which is way better than what Optic was able to do at the start.
Yeah,
So they'll get out. They'll kind of have the advantage in round 3, depending on their decision-making in this next round.
Just, 14 rounds from now, Optic does wind up winning out. We'll remember this moment. But still quite unlikely at this point. I need to see a gun round first before we really see what Optic's up to. As it, in fact, like you noted, Cloud9 doesn't get the bomb plant, so they will take a pretty light approach to this round. Just getting a couple of P250s, or 4 of them rather. No armor. They're just going to rush into this B-bomb set. They do have a couple of flashes. Optic going to get aggressive in the B lobby, so they might run into trouble. Or not. They'll just take care of everything.
Yeah, I mean, a nice, safe round here for Optic Gaming. Kept everyone alive, and they got a ton of kills with submachine guns, so injecting some money into that CT economy. But now here's the decision. You did go in for 2 UMPs and an MP9. Will you now upgrade into rifles? Because Cloud9, after a bomb plant and not putting any money into that last round, will be armed and dangerous.
That is true. I mean, usually you see teams still do pick up a couple of SMGs when they know that rifles are on the way, but they normally don't make it the majority of their firepower, right? Normally they are going to go ahead and pop a couple of... Yeah, so they do still have 3 rifles, so this is still possibly okay. But yeah, Cloud9, they're a little bit low on utility is kind of the biggest thing. They didn't get a second bomb plant. Oh, the run boost
Optic
completely kind of fell apart there, so Cloud9 going to be working their way over to hit the A-bomb site. Shroud indoor. As you would expect, that's kind of his spot. See what he can do from there. Stewie, he's going through a smoke with the flash. What do you know?
Oh, I love it, though. Oh, they're going to... Wait, did that nade not do anything? Or maybe it wasn't nade and it was a flash,
Unfortunate.
perhaps? They were trying to boost up. That was kind of cool. I like the idea.
Yeah.
And it got a bit messy, but it doesn't even matter. Somehow Cloud9 are still a man up. And nothing is here lurking over in middle. He's going to bring down Rush. Skadoodle finds Shazam, and it's Dap in the connector. Trying to take the battle, but he can't win it. Nothing with a 2K. Freakazoid as well.
So I do have to give props for Nav for somehow reading that. I guess there was like kind of a break in the smoke, so he actually did kind of spot them jumping in there to do that counter boost, and he actually got the kill. But you got to give props to Freakazoid. I think he actually snuck through mid to highway and just kind of blindsided him. So that was a really big kill to get. And I mean, just a good execute there from Cloud9. I mean, yeah, even though they kind of pushed through a smoke, it was done in a coordinated fashion. They all went out there together. It wasn't leaving someone stranded by themselves, which can happen sometimes with Cloud9. They got out there as a unit and they out-traded their opponent. So really well done. It's 15-3 now. They have even more utility to go, and they're going to go for heavy A again, but Stanislaw always in a sneaky little spot here. He's in a sneaky little spot here. Isn't going to get picked up. He's able to find 1 frag, but he's traded pretty efficiently, so Cloud9 still have the A site and man advantage.
No, not like this. 2 rounds in a row. Stewie's going to flash push a smoke over out of A main and just comes up I guess it was Freakazoid who did the damage in the last round, but this time he gets 2. Freakazoid went out middle, so he was kind of working alone, and he's since found a kill onto Shazam, and I mean, Dabs, good luck, man. You got a FAMAS, you do have a kit and a flash, but it's 1 versus 3. Cloud9 have triangulated the site. And there's really no chance moving forward for him. He's going to get caught in this crossfire between Truck and A main. 16-3, absolutely wrecked.
Wow. Yes. Indeed, officially by 1 round, the most dominant game of the tournament thus far. And as Cloud9 get a 14-1 CT has, there's really not much to say. This absolutely shut down Optic on all fronts. And then they flipped over to the Terra side, were able to close it out pretty quickly as they did lose the pistol, but as soon as they were able to get money in the third round of the half, they were able to go ahead and win out those 2 rounds to close out the game. And say what you want about flash pushing and smoke, but if you do it together as a team, a lot of teams wind up doing that, right? It's usually later in the round they don't have a choice when the time is kind of on their backs, but Cloud9 I like to do it right up front, and it catches Optic certainly in a tough spot. And so Cloud9, they do take it 16-3. We move on to map 2, which is going to be Mirage, where Optic are slightly favored, I would say. I mean, it's a map that they're a little bit more comfortable on. But again, we talked about how Cloud9 recently has had some decent showings on Mirage, some really close losses to some good Mirage teams, as well as a win over Renegades in the qualifiers for Columbus to get a spot at the major in that best of 3. So it's not out of the equation that Cloud9 could 2-0 this series, especially the way Optic were just looking as far as their form, the shots that they were taking. I mean, even though Cloud9 isn't the most tactically sound team, especially on Mirage, if Optic can't, trade better or get their shots on point, it won't necessarily matter. As Cloud9 will probably get to start on the CT side first, right? And they're certainly capable of putting up good halves there. So, I mean, this could be a pretty nasty series if Optic don't kind of collect themselves in this break between maps and get their heads right.
All right, so we are going to